1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
El Paso County 911, what's the address of your emergency?
This is Lisa at the city. They're calling in a traffic accident, Highway 94 at the top of the hill. She said her friend's been in a terrible accident.
When I looked in the mirror, I saw, these cars all coming at us pretty fast, really fast at myself. And so I just simply, once I got on the 94 and just passed the lower bridge on the road, I simply pulled over to the side of the road to let them go by. And so they flew on by me, and at that point, and there was 3 cars that all went by me, all small cars. And as they come up on the first curve, at that point they had come up on the girl. And I watched them as they simply trailed around the curve there into the straightaway going on up towards Trash Hill. When they hit the bottom of Trash Hill, that's when the car, which was the, not Landon, but the other one that was with him, racing him. That's when he pulled her out to the left, whipped around him real fast, and basically they're side by side at that point going up the hill. And as they're going up the hill, the car on the left was slowly taking the lead, so he's probably about halfway up the top, not directly beside Landon anymore. Landon had shifted back a little bit to where the other car was midway up. And then, as they come at, and I was going down, that's when I lost sight of the cars. All I saw was taillights at that point. And that's when I saw the flashing of the lights, which I just assumed at that point there had to be an accident.
How old is he?
19.
How old?
19.
19?
Yes.
Is he conscious?
No. No.
Is he breathing?
No.
It was November 13th, 2003. It was around 12:30 at night when the accident happened. It was about 3 miles from our house. And so after it happened, his best friend of 8 years, he came to our house, and we thought it was Landon coming in the door. We were already in bed, and so Chris came on in, and he came to our bedroom, and he says there's been a bad accident. And so we said, what happened? And he says Landon's been involved in a bad accident. So you got to come, And so we started getting dressed and everything, and I was all dressed except for my shoes. And I seen that Chris was real fidgety, moving around, crying, spinning in circles, different things in the bedroom while we were getting dressed. And I said, Chris, I think there's more to this than you're telling me. And he goes, he's not breathing. And then my fingers kind of turned to butter.
Can you tell if he's breathing at all? Ma'am?
I'm watching right now.
Okay, can you tell if...
I can see a little bit of breath. Just barely. He's barely here.
I'm going to tell you how to give mouth to him, okay?
Okay.
With his head tilted back, I want you to pinch his nose closed.
Okay.
And completely cover his mouth with your mouth. When I tell you to, I want you to force 2 deep breaths of air into his lungs, just like you're blowing up a big balloon, okay? Listen carefully. I'm going to tell you how to do CPR compressions, okay?
Okay.
Put the heel of your hand on the breastbone in the center of his chest, right between his nipples.
Okay.
Okay, put your other hand on top of that hand.
Okay.
Push down firmly 2 inches,
okay.
Only with the heel of your lower hand touching his chest.
Okay.
I want you to do it 15 times, just like you're pumping his chest, twice a second. I'm going to count with you, okay? We're going to go really fast. You ready?
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
There was a place about anywhere from 3 to 5 foot wide just running down the highway of nothing but blood and brains, and we looked at that. We had to look at that. It looked like it was just like a river running down there. It was so much of it. And from the massive head injury that he received, he was ejected 200 feet from the car from not wearing a seatbelt, and so his head took the whole injury. There wasn't a broken bone in his body except for his head.
I was just thinking, this can't be happening. It can't be my baby laying there, in the middle of the road. It just can't be. And the car didn't even look like a car. I mean, you know, you couldn't even recognize it. It was trashed, and I thought, you know, and I just pulled and it was him. It was my son, you know. It was just my son laying there, and I couldn't believe it. And they just wouldn't let me stay, and I kept going back, and they kept dragging me away, and finally they took the ambulance and put it in between me and his body, so I couldn't go over there anymore. But it was just a nightmare. It still is a nightmare. It's something that it just can't be true.
Colorado Springs 911, this is Morgan. What's the address of your emergency?
It's on the corner of Murray and Constitution. It's a two-car accident.
Is anybody injured?
I don't know. We just pulled up. I saw it happen. One car spun out. Are you guys all right? Yeah. One car spun out, and they're okay, but the other car one car hit a telephone pole. There's a downed electrical pole.
I made a bad decision one night, and it costed me a lot of things. I don't know, I was with my girlfriend and my sister, and they're both sitting up front with me that night, and I had a little bit to drink, and I didn't think nothing of it. You know, I didn't feel that my ability was impaired at all. This guy pulled up next to me, and you know, he was hot rodding his car, and I started hot rodding my car, and we're just sitting down the line, and you know, I'm bigger than you kind of thing, and I thought I could take the guy, and you know, he shot off the line, and figured I gotta catch up to him, so I floored it, and you know, I was right behind him, and he had switched lanes on me, so I switched into the right lane, and he was in the left, and we had hit this intersection about 110, and at that time I don't remember nothing after the intersection, but about a football field away from the intersection up the road, there's a power pole, and apparently I went off the road and hit the power pole. I went through it, and the front end hit the ground, and it flipped frontwards and then started going sideways, and it had done that 4 to 8 times, I'm not sure. I was ejected 60 feet.
Was anybody thrown from the vehicles?
Was anybody thrown out of the vehicle? Yeah, we all were. Everybody was.
Okay, we do have help on the way. In the meantime, just don't have them move around and don't splint any injuries. Okay, we've got help on the way, and if anything changes, just give us a call back.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Bye.
My grandfather's a good guy. Me and him worked together. We were restoring a 55 Chevy about, I'd say, about 2.5, 3 months ago, and it was pretty much done. We had the body work done on it, and started upholstering the back seat of it, and I put a V8 in it, and it was pretty snappy, and it was a fun project. My grandfather had a lot of trust in me, and you know, he believed that I was a responsible young man, and you know, I'm pretty mature, and going out there and wrecking the car, it kind of took away everything that we had, because I lied to him, and I was irresponsible, and I disappointed him. It really bothers me that I had something with my grandfather that I did, and I made a bad decision, and it got taken away from me.
Well, if you're engaging in a speed contest, you're definitely risking your insurance. If you get in an accident, that's the type of accident where you're going to have a whole laundry list of tickets, some of them felonies. Your insurance company is likely going to drop you. You're not going to be able to find affordable insurance. No one's going to touch you. Also, the greater risk you run, if you're in an accident that's determined to be a speed contest, that's a deliberate act. Insurance doesn't cover deliberate acts. It's for accidents.
I'm currently enrolled in some alcohol classes. That's costing me $830 to do those classes. I have $410 in restitution. I lost my license for a year. I've got a SR22 that I have to get my license, and have insurance, and I'm sure my insurance rates are going to be very high.
You won't have insurance to cover that wreck. That means you're going to pay out of pocket your medical bills to fix the vehicle, injuries to other passengers, and lawsuits. You're going to have that legal liability where if somebody comes after you and your family, you face your future wages being garnished, your family losing your house. Imagine having thousands of dollars facing you from a lawsuit, and you've got to pay for it yourself. You've got to defend yourself in court. That's a pretty big decision. That's what you're deciding when you decide to be in that speed contest.
I lost the Oldsmobile too, that was $15,000, and then I lost my son, which of course there's no price that I could put on him, and also we had to pay for the guardrail that it was torn up. Was over $1,200. You have no car to drive to work, to drive the other kids to school or go shopping with or anything, and if you don't have the financial, if you're not financially stable to go out and get another car, you're going to be riding a bus or catching rides the only way you can. We had to get other cars and different things like that, and new insurance and all the things that that you least expect, and then of course there's all the memories and all the phone calls. There's the funeral bill. There's so much that you would never even imagine when it comes to a disaster like this. It's a pain that you just really can't speak about in words.
He's just going to come walking up the stairs or walking in that door and give you a big hug and throw you on the couch and, give you noogies or something, because that's what he would do, because he was way taller than me, and it's just not him. It's not him coming in, and it's not him coming up the stairs, and it's just not him. I don't think kids realize how much their parents love them and how it will never be the same ever. Ever. I don't care if I live 100 years or 5 years, it will never be the same without him. We sit there and we think, okay, well, he's 19 forever. He's not going to have any children, and he's not going to get married, and he's not going to have his first home, and, where's my grandkids? And, you just think you have it all planned out. You have this future for them, and I'm going to be the best mother-in-law, and my grandkids are going to love me best, and, you have this all planned out, and then it's just gone. It's gone in seconds. It's gone, and, his future's gone.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.